Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining the webinar. We welcome you all, future global leaders, at Career Universe with our knowledge partner, Poddar Business School, Jaipur, an innovative and one of an emerging best B school. Career Universe is a committed portal to help you to choose your career in various fields with availability of resources like finance, eligibility, interest, future growth, etc. Hi, this is Shiksha from Career Universe, and for further details, visit careeruniverse.in. Today, we have an expert with us who will guide us on decoding agri food startups in India. Let me introduce my guest of the day, Dr. Tanushree Singh, co founder and CEO Basic.in, Jaipur. We welcome you, ma'am. She started as a clinical at Trust Apollo Hospitals, moving ahead as an advisor in various organizations. She has accomplished as a successful woman entrepreneur, a proud co-founder of Basic.in. We welcome you, ma'am. Over to you, please.
Thank you, Siksha. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you, Dr. Dev, for giving me this opportunity. I always love speaking to youngsters, especially because we're always looking for good resource, people who can team up with us solving this food problem in India. So again, thanks a lot for this opportunity.
Okay, ma'am. So now there are few questions which we would like to enlighten our 21st century management learners. So from initially, we would really like to know about your journey, how you started your own agribusiness, what inspired or motivated you towards doing it.
All right. So I'm not a person who was very clear from day one that I'm going to be an entrepreneur or going to be running my own business. Only one in that classroom who could not get into medical school because of the family issues, etc. So I joined clinical nutrition as my graduation subject. Then from there, during my internship, I realized I was fascinated with the impact food can have on people's health. You can cure diseases, you can get out of trauma conditions using just food. So then I went on to pursue my master's and doctorate research with clinical trials, which reiterated the fact that food is such a significant tool to take care of your health. And meanwhile, my friend, who's now a co-founder, she met people with the startup ecosystem of Rajasthan, and we thought of launching a pilot. So we used home ovens, and in an apartment we started making bajra cakes and selling it to people in the neighborhood, in the community. And we got then selected into a government scheme fund, RKVY Raftar, and since then our journey started as a full-fledged startup.
Oh, great, ma'am. It is really inspirational to know this because there are many students, who really don't know what the direction they have to take initially. And it is nice that, with these inspirational stories, at least they will go ahead and know that, they can take a different path also if initially they are confused.
Yes,
Okay.
100%.
Yes. So, ma'am, my next question would be: is food and agribusiness management program useful for students? If you can please elaborate on the same.
100%. I tell you how. See, we are top five food producers in the world. Okay, India. If you look at the market size, we're close to 900 billion US dollars as a market, as in terms of revenue. Yet, if you understand the agri and food industrial structure, there are a lot of deformities. We lack skilled people, we lack good um, there's a lot of structural issues in the product side of food and the research side of food and the process side of food. So a program like agribusiness management or such programs, They tell you how to, they make you better problem solvers. You become a better person to help people, and maybe leading your country in the food and agri segment. So there's no doubt that there's huge scope of opportunities in this segment, and we do need skilled people, not just startups, even big businesses, established businesses, um, corporates, government, they all need better, skilled people to run the processes to solve these problems. So yes, such programs do help, and they not only help students, they help businesses a lot. We are always looking for skilled people to be our teammates.
Okay. Okay. So, ma'am, like after knowing the usefulness of agribusiness management, our students would really, also want to know your suggestions or career opportunities for
Mm.
agribusiness. Like, because it is very important that usefulness, obviously, we will show a direction to them, but where that direction should end is the main product which our students want to, actually know.
I'll tell you. I'll start from this fact that as a country, uh, I don't think you've seen this rich heritage anywhere in the world in terms of food. Uh, Food as in cultural aspects, and obviously with the rich heritage, it also have a lot of industrial applications. Now, to answer your question, what are the career opportunities in this agribusiness scenario? See, with the rise of startups, with the rise of people actually paying attention to Indian food products and India as a country itself, I think you can get into research and development uh, in agribusiness. You can get into content creation, whether a video content or a blog or a research paper or any such thing. There are companies always looking for people who can create better content for their company. You can get into marketing, and not just offline marketing. There is performance marketing, digital marketing of food. Please understand that marketing is not as generic as it is said in India. Uh, for a food company, the marketing structure would be entirely different than a tech company. So yes, performance marketing, digital marketing, offline marketing, B2B. There's so many opportunities in terms of marketing. Sales, it's a huge issue to find skilled people who are good in sales, and who can understand, how pharma companies, they have their uh, what do they call it, market representative. So we need food representatives who are skilled, who understand that, okay, this particular product has these many therapeutic value. It is good for these kind of people, etc., etc. So you need people who can sell food products, good food products, with knowledge and other skills. So there's no dearth of opportunities in sales in food and nutrition. You can always obviously have your own uh, company uh, to run audits in food companies, to handle processes of a food company, not just manufacturing. There's packaging, there's logistical issues, and for a food company it is very different uh, set of process than to a tech company or maybe a garment company like that. So I don't think there's any dearth of opportunities for people trained with the food agribusiness knowledge. You can always and if you look at the growth rate of food processing industry in India, it is bigger than the global standards. Our CAGR is 8%, and the global CAGR is around 6%. So food industry, agribusiness industry is rising, and I think there's going to be plethora of opportunities.
So it's very nice to hear
Okay.
you, Tanu.
Thank you, sir.
I think some of the companies have some international flavor like Nestle and
Yeah.
then others some of Campa-Cola, Pepsi.
Ji.
Now Indians brands are Haldiram, Bikaner, Wala.
Hmm.
So how these people they get their growth in last 25 year and McDonald is there.
Hmm.
We are enjoying Domino's. So this
Hmm.
comes under this food agribusiness category.
They do, I'll tell you.
Hmm.
I'm forgetting the name of the company that runs Domino's in India,
Hmm.
and it's recently got public,
Hmm.
and the share price of that company is
Hmm.
growing like anything.
Hmm.
Vector food, if you know, Creamica का biscuit आता है and sauces आते हैं.
Hmm.
It was established by a woman, and it also got public, I think 2-3 years back. And if you see the growth rate of that share price is
Uh,
immense. Uh, to answer your question that how international companies are growing in India, so given we have a population, the people, the number game in our hand. We are the largest population of the world, so um, the mass market, as a ecosystem, as a marketplace, India uh, probably has the biggest opportunity
hmm.
for any consumer product, whether food or garment or anything.
Hmm.
Looking at the growth of the international giants versus the Indian make, I think recently, and I cannot quote a data here, but just sharing the trends. Recently the Indian make vocal, vocal for local wala thing, it started picking up. People are now very, very particular about, choosing Indian products. In fact, uh, I, one of my co-founder who's, sorry, one of the founders that I know, uh, they built a coffee brand, and they have done 100 crore revenue in the lifetime, like in 2-3 years. So you can make 100 crores just by selling coffee, and they only sell 4-5 types of coffee. So yeah, as a marketplace for any international business, India is the biggest market, right? Also for Indian companies, gone are the days when Indian makers have to be second in the line of uh, hierarchy or any such in valuation. Now people, Indians do give importance to Indian makers. People choose Indian brands. Also, given the kind of internet exposure, the media exposure we have, I don't think we lack any knowledge in terms of like, now we know that the biggest scientific revolutions, the biggest tech revolution happens in India. So now we are no more that kind of industry who are just lagging behind, who do not know how to run a process, how to have global standards in a product or a process. So yeah, it's a win-win situation, I would say.
Okay, I think that's a Jubilant Foods Private Limited run this Domino's
Ah,
franchise. Yeah.
correct.
So,
Yeah.
what is the food license process? Because if you want to open a very small mom and pop shop on the roadside
Huh.
truck store and all,
Okay.
so there's need of some food licensing and which authorities gives to you so that the young generation can start their startup in even in a bhel puri is a one of the kind the people are love it poha centers people love it. I saw
Yeah.
the so many. So if we become its poha centers become an organized way, so definitely
Mm,
people will enjoy it.
definitely. So for a food license, they, even if you are a roadside vendor or a small uh, grocery store or anything. FSSAI, FSSAI is the organization which certifies you and gives you permission or license to run your business. And most of the processes are online. You can obviously look into the registered website. If I'm not wrong, it's fssai.gov.in, or I mean, Google can tell you the exact web address, but make sure that you go to the government site of that organization. You can apply online, and you have to just tell them that you're a mom and pop show, or you're a mom pop shop, or you're a roadside vendor, or you have a full-fledged running restaurant or whatever. And based on that capacity, they offer you multiple licenses. You can, and it starts from 200 rupees to 1,000 rupees, if I'm not wrong. You can also hire a private agent, and these people, they're registered with FSSAI, they're government agents, and you can pay them and they'll get your certification. The list of documents that you need to submit to the government. Gone are the days when anybody just can run a random business, and you didn't have any accountability towards consumers. Now FSSAI is very, very stringent, very particular, and obviously it's good for each one of us. Nobody wants to eat something and get sick the other day. Nobody wants to feel unsafe in that sense. So yeah, the process is very easy. It's online, offline, it can be done. I mean, I have purchased my license on my own. I've used a website. You can obviously, if you're unable to do that and you lack time or something, you can obviously hire a agent to do that for you.
Very nice. It means opportunities are open, government open the doors for the youth, they can make a startup. Something
100%.
I heard about this agro-tourism, if
Mhm.
you enlighten something on it.
Yeah, it's a very interesting scenario. So, I'm not sure if you've heard. So, people living in Canada and US, they used to, share, like, people in the sense that friends, family, or some other people. They used to share that how they pay a few dollars to visit a farm to pet uh, uh, a dog, or to pet animals like that, to know cows. India was always an agricultural country. We have farms like anything. 70% of our population is dependent on agriculture. Uh, uh, Cattle breeding, poultry, everything we do. Yet we never commercialized that. Now it's all started, the agro-tourism. You can visit an orchard, you can live in the farm, um, pluck the fruits, experience the whole ecosystem of agriculture. You can live there for a few days. You can experience what it means to farm or harvest a crop. And yes, and it is again, people living in cities like Gurgaon or Delhi or Bangalore, who wants to come out of that concrete jungle and experience Mother Nature. I think it's a great way of unwinding yourself. And for the farmers and people running agrotourism, it's they're anyway doing it now. They have to just structure their fields and few other elements, and they can earn money making people visit their farms or experience their journey. So agrotourism is just that, making people, getting money out of uh, the field visit, the farm visit, the experiences you can give during the whole agricultural process.
It's really wonderful to hear the so many avenues open in the food and agri business in
Yes.
India, even then in a very economical and very lowest investment. So
Correct. And,
moreover,
and I'd like to point out this thing, that a lot of people joining agri businesses come from farmers background. I think it's a huge opportunity for them with a better law and order situation in India with better national security, I think our tourism is going to win anyway. I mean, we are going to raise. I mean, getting a lot of opportunity, people, foreigners visiting us. So those students who come from these background, they must look into if they can use their family farms or their own farms, and they can capitalize that kind of opportunity. uh, even a smallest investment can be done, and making a structure good enough to welcome guests and give them an experience of how Indian farming happens.
That's nice. It's I think our honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi, his words become automatically become a brand ambassador. He started Mota Anaj, Shri Ann,
Correct. Correct.
terminology. I think our youth they listen first time the Shri Ann and Mota Anaj, and now
Yeah.
it's become a status symbol somewhere else. I went to Greater Clash in Delhi, so
Mm-hmm.
some of my relatives are there, and they said ki nowadays we are on the diet, super diet, and we are taking a millet. Then someone says, "Oh, bajra." No, 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 no. That's a millet. So what are the articulation of words, glamour? It's enter into it, so it's make a success. So what is your views on millet versus bajra? Like a
Okay.
dollar versus rupees?
Uh, okay. I'll tell you. Millet is a group of grains. Okay. Like cereals. Cereals have rice, wheat, barley, etc. For millets, there is bajra, that is pearl millet, jowar, sorghum, ragi, we call in English it is called finger millet. There is kodo millet, foxtail millet. So millet, it's a generic term for a group of grains. Um, and bajra is one such grain. You know bajra because you're from Rajasthan and it's a popular grain here. People from South knows kangani or ragi, which is finger millet. So every state, every geographical region has their own set of millet they use. And I mean, l- all of these grains that come under this category called millet, they're extremely healthy. And it's not just a random claim that I'm making. There are clinical investigations that is being done. People consuming millets regularly have lesser risk to metabolic diseases like diabetes, heart attacks, etc., etc. So yes, and the terminology Shri Ann, Mota Anaj, etc. So Shri Ann was said because these grains, millets are extremely rich in nutrients. They're dense with the uh, helpful, beneficial nutrients, and that's why Shri Ann. Mota Anaj, though, it's a generic term people use, क्योंकि bajra, or if you see the grain. Skin is very thick, and that's why it's called mota anaj.
That's happy to know these things because the people, every state and every district, people makes their own definition to
हाँ.
justify it is good or justify it is bad. And nowadays, the big awareness about not to eat wheat, not to eat
हाँ.
wheat. Now it's
Yes, yes.
awareness. But what was 100 year or 200 year
Hmm.
previous time for this? Ki yes, only gehu and people talk about we are work for roti only. And roti means that flour meat from wheat.
हाँ.
Then somebody mix up the flour of rice. Then in South they love rice. In North India they love wheat. So
Yeah.
the terms comes roti. If we are not able to eat a roti, roti special means to gehu ki roti only. Uh,
So it's okay. There's a history behind it. Our market, the industry, people were making money out of wheat, and I'm not blaming wheat, but I am blaming gluten. Gluten is a kind of protein found in wheat, and what it does is it gives a structure to any industrial food. For example, if you're eating pasta or noodles or bread or bun, whatever. So while taking a shape, gluten helps. And once the industrialists realized this, they started making wheat. There was the scientific intervention happened, and what they did was they wanted wheat with higher amount of gluten. So obviously there are some unnatural processes, some genetical modification and few other things that happened to make that wheat higher in gluten, so that industry can make more money. uh, Higher the amount of gluten, higher its application in the industry. You'll eat more, I mean, the pasta quality, the noodle quality will obviously increase. And that's how it began. Industry started paying farmers, telling them that ये वाला वीट उगाओ, इसमें ज्यादा ग्लूटेन है, ये ज्यादा अच्छा है. और वो ग्लूटेन नहीं बोलते थे, वो प्रोटीन बोलते थे. दे यूज्ड टू. सो पीपल थॉट दैट, oh, I'm eating higher protein. But because of those unnatural interventions, the natural wheat wasn't there at all. And this modern gluten, the changed gluten, the changed wheat, is reported to be causing a lot of diseases. It is indigestible in our gut. Not just us, even cows cannot digest that kind of gluten. And there are many reports that consuming modern gluten, modern wheat, is actually causing diabetes, cancer, heart attack, and a lot of celiac. You must know that, that gluten allergy, you have skin infections, you have gut issues like that. So that's the story behind why roti was popular. It was actually popularized by the industry uh, at the cost of people's health. And now why? Because of the disease started happening, research happened. Now they know that, okay, we must put a pause in this consumption of wheat. And lastly, one more thing, if you can understand our food culture. We never eat one kind of fruit. We never eat one kind of sabzi. So why we ate one kind of cereal? Why we were just obsessed with wheat? We had so many options, but we were only, our thali is only limited with gehu and chawal. So that's another way of looking at it. Uh, why the wheat obsession was problematic and why it should be now corrected.
So it means advertisement more heavy on our knowledge. The company told ki, yes, you eat protein, but actually they gave us a gluten. The
Correct.
looks, the sound same, protein and gluten, but people couldn't understood it. So, but
Yeah.
nowadays, happy for this 21st century people that they able to know what is the difference between gluten and protein. So
Yeah.
it's a very nice session. I think many more. It's an endless discussion if we talk about on the food, and might be
Yes.
this is a time for lunch also. So it's this moment once we're talking about food. So definitely we have to take or eat some food with the salad and all. And we wish to invite you on the special session where a diet can make us fit, our mind fit, our health fit, which is very important. And if I talk about the Bajra, we have to give them some glamorous name to the Bajra. If you say the Bazara, like a Bizarra, so maybe this young generation who's talk about the pop mom and hi hello, they loves it.
Mm,
You're taking the buzz BAJ rather than Bajra.
yeah.
So, being a good help for our Indian young generation, we have to make some advertisement. Hey, enjoy buzz every day. So,
So
nice interaction. Thank you so much, Tanu. Sonakshi, Your closing, yes, Shiksha, your closing remark, please.
Yes, sure. So, with this, we would like to end our webinar and want to thank Dr. Tanushree Singh for sharing a right direction to our students who want to offer agribusiness or actually who are doing agribusiness. I want to thank everyone who joined today's webinar. And for any further details, please visit careeruniverse.in. Have a great day. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.